After 2016's Deadpool, I thought that's it. Nothing ever in the superhero genre ever topped it. Endgame didn't do it for me. Infinity War didn't do it for me. They came close, but Deadpool is still my favorite superhero movie of all time. And I thought that nothing could ever come close to it. Deadpool and Wolverine does not quite top it, but it joins it on the same rung of the ladder. I just watched this movie. You're getting my straight out of the quote unquote movie theater. That's all I'll say. Reaction, and it's better than Deadpool 2. I'll just say that. It's better than any MCU movie that has come along probably in the last 2 to 3 years. Um, it's hard to put this one. I don't think this is part of the MCU. They tell you it's part of the MCU. The TVA is in it. Characters from Loki season 1 and 2 appear in it. But I think that they did a good job. I watched Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman on The View. I don't make it a habit of watching The View, but I did stumble across their clip. And Ryan Reynolds pretty much said it best. It took them years to get this movie made because they were scared of Deadpool. And this movie is going to gross more being rated R than probably. I mean, it's probably going to be the one of the top grossing MCU films of all time. Let's just put it that way. I don't know exactly where the chips are going to fall, but it's definitely going to be up there. But Ryan Reynolds on The View said, "You can have your MCU. I wanted this to be a love letter to the Fox X-Men universe, and that's exactly what this is." There's mild spoilers here, guys. Or you know what? Let's screw it. We're gonna talk spoilers with this because I can't do a non-spoiler discussion of this movie. Um, I will say that this movie, again, it's not as good as the first Deadpool in my mind. It's way better than Deadpool 2 was. It's better than the only few movies that have really been good have been Spider-Man No Way Home, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and maybe Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Those are it. Anything that's come out beyond Endgame, except for those three occasions. I mean, I did like WandaVision, and I think my love for WandaVision was because it was the first MCU Disney Plus thing, and it had never been done before, and that's where my love for it ended. Um, I will say that this movie this movie is all over the place. And it really doesn't really have all that strong of a plot, but the cameos and the humor and the execution of a kind of weak plot is masterful. And it's better than anything, like I said, except for those three things that Marvel's ever done. Couple of things here. You will have to seen Logan. You will have to seen the first Deadpool movie, and maybe season 1 of Loki to get this. Um, I'm trying not to really go into spoilers, but I want to go into spoilers. I'm all over the place with this because I've just finished watching it and I have so many thoughts on this. Um, First off, Ryan Reynolds does an incredible job, and this is the most Deadpool that he has ever been. They are constantly telling him to shut the F up in this movie. I mean, every 5 minutes, Hugh Jackman or somebody else is looking at him going, "Please shut the F up. Please shut the F up." He doesn't shut up. I mean, this is the most Deadpool I think. I have to put this below Deadpool one because the plot of Deadpool one was better than this. Um, in my book, the cameos. Let's get all the cameos out of the way, shall we? The first cameo that we get is Henry Cavill. Of all people, Henry Cavill, Superman himself, Henry freaking Cavill, as the Wolverine, or a Wolverine variant. Um, and with the he's working on a motorcycle, and Deadpool goes and calls him the Cavalrine, and I'm just like, holy shit! They actually got Henry fucking Cavill to come in and play Wolverine for like a like a 2 second, 5 second, whatever. It was just pure bliss, guys. It will, and women, if you don't get horny as hell when you see the cavalry, you have no heart. That's all I'll say. I mean, the cameos in this movie. I mean, it's crazy that this is part of Phase 5. Um, I'm trying to look and see all the other cameos that are in this. Um, let's see here. Come on, come on, come on. So then after that, you get Chris Evans showing up, and you think it's going to be Captain America. They totally make you think it's going to be Captain America. Nope, it's not Captain America. It's the foul mouthed Johnny Storm. He sits there, and you think he's going to say Avengers Assemble, and no, flame on, and he's the damn Human Torch. Oh, this was so good, so good, and the way they handled him was awesome. It's just so awesome to see them use Chris Evans and to get Chris Evans back in this way. Um, you got I'm trying to go through this list here. Um, I'm trying to see here who we you got Taylor Maine, former pro wrestler, as Sabretooth. Ray Park returns as Toad. Kelly Hu returns as Lady Deathstrike. Um, you got Diana Ramirez returning as Callisto from X-Men 3. Um, you got Jason Fleming coming back as Aziel from X-Men First Class. Billy Clemens as coming back as the Russian from um, Punisher, and he comes back as Bullseye as well um, the Daredevil movies. I want to say that the Russian guy, let me check. I believe he was played by, yeah, the Russian, he was played by Kevin Nash in the first Punisher movie. But they did not get Kevin Nash. They got Billy Clemens in. Okay, so he's kind of new. Juggernaut from X-Men 3's in there. Psylocke comes back. Um, Ryan, it's crazy how many people return here, and then you get kind of like the core cameo team here. You have Elektra, freaking, freaking. Uh, oh man, what's her name? Jennifer Garner. God, there's so many. My mind is melting. My mind is melting of how good this was and how good it was executed. The only thing holding it back is for me was the plot. But I can Oh man, Jennifer Garner returning as Elektra. And then you get the most badass entrance. Goddamn Wesley Snipes coming back as Blade. Wesley freaking Snipes coming back. Let me say it again. Wesley Snipes as Blade is in this movie. And then, um, Daphne Keene, all grown up, coming back as X-23, aka Laura from Logan. So it's kind of like they're giving the finger to the MCU, or basically what they've done is everybody from the Fox Marvel universe, just about from that whole Fox X-Men universe, is now in the void of the TVA. Makes me wonder, they got this kind of counteracts things, but this is meant to be a standalone deal. Um, it's kind of confusing in a way to me because you've got Kelsey Grammer's Beast showing up in um, at the end of the Marvels. So maybe not all of the Fox universe that wound up in the void, but you got Daphne Keene in there as Logan, and they sit there and they tell you we're not going to disrespect Logan. We're treating Logan. That Logan is dead. And boy, is he. That's all I'll say because the opening segment, the opening credits of this movie is brilliantly done. But back to the cameos. Daphne Keene, and probably my favorite out of all of these. I'm not a huge Channing Tatum fan. Logan Lucky is a highly underrated movie that he did. Um, but when he walks on and he's got the full getup on with the thing around the head, and the coat, and he's got the playing cards, and he shows up as Gambit, and he puts on that Cajun accent. It makes me want a this makes me want a Gambit movie with Channing freaking Tatum in it. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I want a Channing Tatum Gambit movie because this is the best portrayal of Gambit I've ever seen, ever. I gotta be honest. Now, yes, they play it up for comic effect, but I did not know that Channing Tatum could put on that strong of a French Cajun accent and pull it off well. He's so good in this movie. Channing Tatum is probably one of the best characters in this movie. Daphne Keene. They said that she rewatched Logan in order to prepare for this, and thank God she did because she hasn't missed a step. She's she, spoiler alert, she's in the MCU now. She's in Deadpool's universe. And if they decide to do Secret War, oh, oh God, I can't wait. I hope they bring Channing back as Gambit. And I hope Wesley Snipes' Blade comes back. But my God, this was so good. And the fight scenes between um Deadpool and Wolverine. I they were spectacular. I will say this though, and I know I'm going to be in the minority in this. Basically, all the Deadpools from all the other universes have gone to the void, and they form the Deadpool core. And they make you know right at the beginning you don't want to meet those guys. Ryan Reynolds shows up with long hair, and he's got a positive attitude. I guess you call him Positive Pool. Um, and he tells them you don't want to meet the Deadpool core. They're not good guys. I gotta say, besides that iconic shot in the trailer of those two walking out into that messed up street, that entire fight did not need to be in this movie. And I know I'm in the minority. I liked it, and it was fun seeing all the Deadpool variants. However, that fight was not integral to the plot at all. It was not needed at all. It was 100% fan service. It was 100%, it was fan service. That's all I could say. It was not needed, and you probably could have killed 5 minutes off of this movie with just by eliminating that. It was nice seeing Blake Lively do the voice of Lady Deadpool. You never see her face. Um, but again, I my personal preference, if I was directing this movie, I would look at it and go, "It's cool that you're seeing all these guys, but is it really needed?" Because my answer would be no, not at all. Because it's like they do that fight and then they immediately get right back into the plot of the whole thing. Um, I'm trying to think here. Paradox, the guy who plays Paradox, did a good job. I really like that. The one who played the Cassandra Nova. Um, the villain does not suck in this movie. The villain is actually amazing in this movie. I just wish they had a better storyline for her. I wish that I don't know. You had to have seen Loki season one. That's all I'll say. If you walk into this movie without at least watching Loki season one, then you're gonna be like, "What the hell is all this?" Um, let's see what else here that can I say? It's not for children. It is 100% not for children. It is probably the most bloody and vulgar movie out of all three Deadpool movies. I will say that. But I had fun watching it. You're going to have fun watching it. Go to the theaters, watch it. Do not bring your kids. Do not bring your kids. I repeat, do not bring your kids. My 15-year-old will not be seeing this movie. It's rated R for a reason. Um, the end credit scene is just a joke that harkens back into something that happens with Chris Evans near the beginning of the movie. Um, Ryan Reynolds pretty much said he did not want this movie to be a commercial for other movies. That's another thing that he said on The View. He said that every Marvel movie just feels like it's a commercial for the next Marvel movie, especially with the end credit scenes. And he did not want this to feel that way. It doesn't at all. Um, as far as a score for this movie, I have to give it a 9 out of 10. The only reason why I can't give it a full 10 out of 10 is because of the overall plot. There's very little plot there, and what plot is there makes you kind of go, huh? But okay. Um, and the Deadpool scene, the Deadpool core scene. It was a brilliant scene. It was brilliantly acted. It was very well done. I just don't think at the end of the day, the movie snob in me tells me it's not really integral to the plot. It did not really need to be there at all. Um, there are some things that were in one of the trailers that won't in the movie. At least I didn't see it. There was a Doctor Strange Deadpool, and everybody was saying that's how they got the sling ring. That's how they got the sling ring. Nope, nope. That's not Doctor Deadpool, Doctor Strange Pool, or whatever you want to call him, Doctor Pool Strange. I like Doctor Strange Pool. Doctor Strange Pool does not bring the sling ring in. They do say how they've got the sling ring, but I won't go into any detail there. I won't go into any detail there. I'll save that. But 9 out of 10. Those two things, the overall plot and that Deadpool core scene, just at the tail end of the movie, it's like, okay, that was fun. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. Anyway, 9 out of 10. Go see it. It is well worth going and seeing on the big screen. Let me just say that. But yeah, 9 out of 10. Go see it. We'll see you down the road.